Hey, hey, hey!
Hey, how you doing? Hey, another great day to get together with you guys and talk from X to Z. This is the podcast of Dave and Hannah McDonald Danaker. And today we're introducing Steven. I'm not going to try your last name, Steven. What is your last name?
Prestipino.
Prestipino. So,
But what is the name that you are known by most of the people in the industry right now? You said you came with a new name, right? A different name?
For a very short amount of time, I went by my given first name, which is Salvatore. But the majority, 98% of the people in the world know me as Steven. The 2%, they're okay with that.
I like that. It sounds spicy.
What's the name of the uncle in our uncle video?
Uncle Sal.
It is Uncle Sal.
Mm.
Have you seen some of the videos?
I haven't seen that one. I've seen a few of them, but not that one.
Oh, gosh.
Now I got to look it up.
Oh, gosh. We're going to have to show you that. So there's a whole series of, really, it's just the first one, right? Better Conversation.
It's the first one that we really dig into it, for sure.
Yeah. And we totally abuse Uncle Sal.
I love it.
So Uncle Sal is the bad agency owner that you don't want to work with, and Uncle Dave is the good guy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So does that ring true a bit?
Yeah.
So Steven, we're really excited to have you on board, and because we don't have enough 50-ish-year-old white guys in our organization. No, obviously we want a diverse population, but sometimes when you get great talent, you need to seize the day. And so that's what we did with you. I'm super excited to have you on board with us. But tell us a little bit about yourself. Why staffing? How did you end up here in your career? And what did you do wrong to end up here? And why do you love it? What is it about staffing that you like?
Well, it's interesting because I started up the first half of my life in the restaurant world, which is crazy.
Sure.
And when I left that world, I was actually recruited by a staffing company to join this because they were finding people from that crazy world to join this crazy world. I dove into it. I was lucky to work with one of the worst agencies that ever existed,
whose name we will not submit right now.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore, but that's okay. And I was fortunate enough to join a way better organization, a way better group that led me now to this amazing organization. And I got to learn the good side of staffing, where you help people. Every single person you place to work, you're helping maybe 3 or 4 other people. You're feeding families. You're working with a product that is so interesting, good and bad, but it's interesting. Life is always interesting. I could never have a boring job that didn't require joy, anger, stress, you name it, all the emotions. I couldn't have that type of job. That's why I love this industry so much.
Sure.
That's interesting. How long were you, because I don't know that I have spoken to many people who would admit that they were in an agency that is not necessarily all by the books. How long were you in that? And did that ever spew you to be like, maybe staffing isn't for me? Or did you just know that it wasn't the right spot, but that it was the right thing?
Yeah, because when I joined, I didn't know any better.
Sure, of course not.
I was fortunate enough to learn quickly. I was there for a short amount of time. The company itself didn't break any laws or rules. They just didn't treat people the way people should have been treated.
Okay.
And so I got to learn really quickly, especially when I was, told, don't treat people good, treat people the way we want you to treat them. I'm like, no, I don't work that way. So when I got to join a way better organization, I got to see, the good side of staffing. And it's not bad to see the bad in things, because then you really appreciate the good in things. You don't take it for granted at all.
Yeah.
Besides the things you should.
Yeah. Do you think it's safe to say then, if somebody originally started in an agency that just didn't turn out to be what they had wanted it to be, that there might be a good spot for them in staffing just elsewhere? Or do you think that if you see staffing and you're like, no, this isn't for me, that typically that you're right, staffing is quite the ordeal, and it's like, no, if it's not for you, it's just not for you?
Staffing is not for everyone. I've said this a million times. Our industry is not rocket science, but it's hard. And it's challenging to a lot of people, but some people can learn from being in an environment that is not the right environment. Some people get jaded, and that's a very common thing, and it's a very forgivable thing. Say, and they whitewash the entire situation or industry because of that one situation, and it's unfortunate.
Well, and I would say that if you got jaded by working in a staffing company, even not a good one, and you can't get over that, then you're probably not for staffing, because you have so many interactions with people that are both good and bad. If the negative, if you can't rebound from those negative experiences, you're going to find staffing to be really difficult long term. I tell people all the time, and I'm sure you would agree with this, that if you don't love people, if you don't have a genuine care and concern for people, don't do it. You have to be more than just a people person. It's like a social worker who wants to make money is what you need to be. You need to have that kind of real, I want to help people. I want to, for us, it's feeding families one shift at a time. That's what gets us out of bed in the morning. And I say this all the time, helping some guy who makes $150,000 a year make $175,000. I have no interest in that. That does not excite me at all. But helping a guy who's making 18 get to 19 or 20, that really is exciting to me. And so it comes down to a love for people. Tell us about
why staffing for you?
Well, I think, when I was introduced to it, I got to see, because in the restaurant world, you're serving people. People are coming to you, you're serving them. The ultimate goal is to make them happy when they leave. You can't always do that. Staffing can be that way too. Sometimes people come to you, sometimes you go to them. What I like about staffing is the double-sidedness of it, where you're getting associates who come to you, kind of like customers who walk into your store, but you're actually going out and trying to get your own business. It's challenging. You're reaching out to all the great companies that are in your territory, in your area that you want to connect with, and it's a challenge. It's not boring. It's interesting. It's stressful. I like stress. I think stress is a good thing. I think it's almost necessary to have a successful career, because it's a successful life. But it's challenging. I can't have a job that isn't interesting or challenging. I wouldn't want to do it. And staffing definitely ticks all those boxes, and then some. And it's never the same thing twice. In some jobs, it's rewarding, because no matter how many times you lave that leg, you're going to lave that same leg again. But in this one, always going to be different.
Well, and that's so interesting, because I've talked with a lot of people about staffing that feel like, and I've heard them use the term, it's like Groundhog Day. Like every day are trying to get that same order filled. You're trying to work through those same issues with employees. And so if you come to it with a pessimistic point of view, and I don't want to say that these people are pessimistic, but if you have just more that leaning, then you're going to find it more troubling and difficult. And if you find the hope in that woman, then that makes it more empowering and more helpful.
It's like anything we do in life. You can look at the negative side or the positive side. You can also go down the middle, which I think can be boring too.
Sure.
But if and I'm not Mr. Rainbow and Sunshine by any means. I don't think you can in this industry either, because this is also a situation where if you, as much as we may want to help people, if they don't want to be helped, whether it's a client or an associate, you can bang your head against the wall all day long. You're not going to accomplish any of that. But you have to recognize that too, because otherwise you won't sleep at night. And we need to sleep in our industry.
For sure. Steven, a guy with your pedigree and in the market today, you could have worked at a lot of different places. Why Better Together Group for you? Why would you throw your lot in with our crew of misfits?
Well, we kind of met about a year ago, I'd say, and I thought the interaction was pleasant, and the follow-up was definitely consistent enough, but genuine. And then I was fortunate enough to meet Hannah as well. And during one of my interactions, there was an internal interaction that I won't expound upon, but it brought a level of comfort, familiarity, family, team that was so genuine. I'm like, this is the kind of company I think I want to work with join. And then meeting Hannah again, in our face-to-face kind of solidified that. And I saw the values that the company brings, met some of the team members, and I researched what they stood for. And I thought, well, why wouldn't you want to be part of this organization? I think you'd kind of be silly not to. Not that anybody could or would be allowed to, but that was kind of the drawing factor for me.
Well, thank you for that. That's a really nice thing to say. I think that we do try to create a culture here where we meet every individual where they are, where we're very demanding of everybody. We're demanding that they bring their fullness to work every day. That, a Sunday night I was at the hospital until 4 a.m. My fullness yesterday was not very much. I overgave. I gave more than my fullness yesterday. But we want to be respectful and understanding of people and where they're at. We want to help them achieve everything that they can possibly achieve in life. And my personal goal is to help everyone achieve just a little more than they believe they can do themselves. And so we're super excited to have you on board. I believe great things are in store for us and for you. And welcome aboard. Really glad to have you on the team.
Thank you.
Hannah, do you have any final things that you want to say?
Oh gosh, what are you most excited about with BTG? Like next 2 days, next 6 weeks, next year, whatever it is. Is there anything that you're just excited to see happen? Excited to see come through fruition?
I think it's a constant with me. I love being part of an organization and helping them grow. And that's, my ultimate passion is helping people, helping companies, and helping our company grow and be better. Because every time we do that, it has, I think, a positive ripple effect. So it's great being part of that.
Yeah, amazing. Love that. Well, thank you for doing this episode and for being here and joining the team. We're excited to have you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Until next time. Bye, guys.
See ya.